since last week, you passed through this place and stated publicly that you were in possession of facts which, if known to the public, would entirely destroy my prospects for re-election. Furthermore, you stated that as a favor to me, you would not divulge these facts. No one has needed favors more than I, and few have been less unwilling to accept them. But in this case, a favor to me would be an injustice to the public. Therefore, I must beg your pardon for declining your offer. That I once had the confidence of the people is sufficiently evident. If I have since done anything that would forfeit that confidence, he that knows of that thing and conceals it is a traitor to his country's interest. I find myself unable to form any conjecture of what facts, real or supposed, you spoke. But my opinion of your veracity will not permit me to doubt that you at least believed what you said. I am flattered by the concern you expressed for my well-being, but I do hope that on more mature reflection, you will view the public interest as a paramount consideration, and therefore determine to let the worst come. I here assure you that the candid statement of facts on your part, however low it may sink me, shall never break the tie of personal friendship between us. In the autumn of 1836, a lady of my acquaintance proposed to me that I wed her sister. I accepted the proposal, feeling confoundedly well pleased with the project. I had seen the said sister some 3 years before, thought her intelligent and agreeable, and saw no good objection to plodding through life hand in hand with her. In a few days, we had an interview, and although I had seen her before, she did not look as my imagination had pictured her. I knew she was oversized, but she now appeared a fair match for Falstaff. I knew she was called an old maid, and I didn't doubt at least half of that description, but now when I beheld her, I could not for my life avoid thinking of my mother. And this not from withered features, for her skin was too full of fat to permit of its contracting into wrinkles, but from her want of teeth, weather-beaten appearance in general, and from a kind of notion that ran in my head that nothing could have commenced at the size of infancy and reached her present goal in less than 35 or 40 years. And in short, I was not at all pleased with her. But what could I do? I had told her sister that I would take her for better or for worse. Well, thought I have said it, and be the consequences what they may, it shall not be my fault if I fail to do it. At once I determined to consider her my wife, and this done, all my powers of discovery were put to work in search of perfections in her which would balance her defects. I tried to imagine her handsome, which, but for her unfortunate corpulency, was actually true. I also tried to convince her myself that the mind was much more to be valued than the person, and in this she was not inferior to any with whom I had been acquainted. All this while, although I was fixed firm as the surge-repelling rock in my resolution, I found I was continually repenting the rashness which had led me to make it. I now spent my time in planning how I might get along in life after my contemplated change of circumstances should have taken place, and how I might procrastinate the evil day for a time. After I had delayed the matter as long as I thought I could, I concluded I might as well bring it to a consummation without further delay, and so I mustered my resolution and made the proposal to her direct. But, shocking to relate, she answered, no. At first, I suppose she did it through an affectation of modesty, which I thought but ill became her under the quite peculiar circumstances of the case. But on my renewal of the charge, I found she repelled it with greater firmness than before. I tried it again and again, but with the same success, or rather, with the same want of success. I finally was forced to give it up, at which I unexpectedly found myself mortified almost beyond endurance. My vanity was deeply wounded by the reflection that I had so long been too stupid to discover her intentions, and also that she, whom I had taught myself to believe nobody else would have, had actually rejected me, with all my fancied greatness. And to cap the whole, I then for the first time began to suspect that I was really a little in love with her. Others have been made fools of by the girls. But this can never in truth be said of me. I most emphatically in this instance made a fool of myself. I have now come to the conclusion never again to think of marrying. And for this reason. I can never be satisfied with anyone who would be blockhead enough to have me.